In a faraway land called Niande, there was this chill kingdom dedicated to Valoria, this totally awesome goddess. Life was all good vibes until things got crazy with this huge fight that wrecked the place. It was all about power-hungry nobles eyeing their neighbor's turf. Astralon Kingdom. But hey, not every history moment is a battle, right? Nianda eventually won the big showdown, and peace vibes settled in, letting folks live without stress. But surprise, later on, their chill vibe was seriously tested. So, there's this maid in Nianda who's totally wiped out. Turns out, it's all 'cause of the princess acting like a total diva for ages. This princess acts like everyone's her footstool, gets her sword dirty all the time, wrecks stuff around the castle like it's no biggie, and bails on plans like it's a casual thing. She's even dissed her partners, making the king apologize left and right. The princess is actually from the line that saved the kingdom back in the big war like 100 years ago. All the way back to the hero, Great Knight Artinez. Sure, she might seem like a troublemaking kid, but she's all about using her strength to make things better for everyone in the kingdom. She's on it when it comes to protecting the kingdom from monsters and all sorts of threats. Her adventures are a hit with the kids. They can't get enough of her wild stories. But hey, the maid's the real MVP here, dealing with the princess's antics day in, day out, no matter what folks think about her. So picture this, the princess, known for her wild requests, shows up at the king's place, and everyone's bracing for her usual offbeat demands. Even the king's thinking she'll ask for another trip to some monster-filled hellspring, right? But hold up. She strolls in wearing this massive, elegant princess dress. Like, she's a whole new person. Everyone's like, what the heck's going on? She starts talking all proper and ladylike, saying she just wanted to feel fancy and enjoy the breeze for once. And then out of nowhere, she drops the bomb. She's getting hitched. Now, this girl's been a loner for like 22 years, giving everyone a hard time, breaking off engagements left and right. And now, marriage? The king's face goes from confusion to pure joy. Nobody saw this coming. He probably thought this was his chance to be done with her antics. But then, when he asks who the lucky guy is, he turns into a statue, frozen in shock. Here's the kicker. The princess wants to marry the Demon King. Yep, you heard it right. She's set on marrying the Demon King. The news about the princess planning to marry spread like wildfire across the kingdom. No one saw that coming. But surprisingly, folks are giving their blessings without knowing the full deal. But those in the know? Yeah, they're feeling kinda iffy about it. And now everybody's keeping a close eye on the situation. Damien, this ex-knight turned count, is totally against the princess's choice. He's all fired up, saying demons wrecked Niande, caused loads of deaths, and the princess shouldn't be marrying one of them. He's even dropping warnings about angry ancestors rising from the grave to smack the royal family. Then there's James, the princess's childhood buddy, taking a totally different angle. He's all for Atina, saying she's busted her butt for her people and deserves to chase her own happiness. He reckons she could mend things with the demon realm too. Damien's all like, she might be getting played by the demons. But before he can finish, in walks Atina, stunning everyone again with her fancy outfit. She overhears the showdown, pulls out her sword, and waves it at Damien. She's calling him out, telling him to say his piece in front of her sword. Then she drops the bomb about why she's marrying a demon, giggling like, curious about my love story, huh? She starts spilling the beans about how she met the Demon King. Picture this. She's on a mission, right? She swoops in, ready to take them all down, but they bolt before she can even swing her sword. And bam! That's when the Demon King shows up. They duke it out, and man, this dude's good. He's dodging her moves like it's a piece of cake. She tries to take him down but fails big time. It's not until she notices his horn, partly broken, that she clocks he's the Demon King. And, well, she can't stop thinking about him after that. So why's she so fixated? Apparently, this guy's a total looker, super handsome, tall, and built like a tank. But the real deal? He's the first person she's met who matches her in strength. She's all convinced it's fate they're meant to be together. But here's the kicker. The Demon King straight up says no to her marriage proposal. No interest in what humans want. The princess? She's shocked. Speechless even. Guess it can't be helped, she mutters. And surprise, she's actually hurting more than anyone would expect. Her childhood buddy, James, swings by to check on her. Atina, usually not fazed by rejection, is now wearing sadness like a coat. She gets that just wanting something doesn't mean you'll get it. James is all about supporting her happiness, asking about her plan to make nice with the demons. Atina's wise about it, saying making friends is smarter than letting pride get in the way because she got turned down. But hold up. This is the determined princess we're talking about. Turns out the tribute she talked about? It's none other than herself, shipped off by the kingdom in a wagon. This girl's dead set on exploring every path to get what she wants. James bolts to meet Atina, pushing his horse to its max speed. When he catches up, he's all worked up, giving her a piece of his mind for her impulsive moves. She's dressed as a maid, spills her plan to him, and he's like, seriously, this is nuts. She's banking on charming the Demon King with just her looks, and knowing he can't talk her out of it, he settles for a simple reminder not to mess things up. So, the princess hits the demon's castle, eyeing the Demon King and thinking her smile will win him over. But nope, he mistakes her smile for some assassin signal, orders her arrest, all because she's a total noob in these situations. James steps in, trying to defend her, but he ends up calling her weird and kinda rough. He gives her this look like, please just nod along, and Atina, feeling mega awkward, blurts out, yeah, I wanted to work here, forcing a laugh. And now, she's stuck working in the demon's castle. She's been there a few weeks, and her plan to charm the Demon King? Zero progress. Then, the head maid calls her in, saying there's a big dinner at the royal castle, and she's gotta go as a servant. She's thinking this might be her shot to make her move. The big dinner day finally rolls around. Atina's got this crazy plan to win over the Demon King, but it's a bust cause they're totally apart, positions-wise. When they serve the stew, Atina sniffs trouble and freaks out, checking the bowl before the Demon King takes a bite. Guards are on high alert, seeing her as a threat. She locks eyes with them and spills that the stew's got killer poison that kicks in real fast from your tongue to your throat. Then this Demon King's minion, Deagle, starts twisting things. He's all like, this poison's from Nyanda's forests, a human place. How'd it end up here in the demon castle? Atina cracks up. Luckily, this is the princess who's a pro at both brains and brawn. She smells something fishy, says the poisoning happened after humans came in. She shifts the blame onto whoever cooked the dish. They're arguing non-stop until the Demon King steps in, tells the guards to cut her loose. He's done eating and jets out, leaving Atina with a frosty glare. This sets Atina off. She's in her room, yelling and fuming. Those icy looks from the Demon King won't leave her mind. She's dead set on doing something, or at least getting some answers from the Demon King. Atina's wandering around the castle, her mind filled with all sorts of weird thoughts about the Demon King. She's snooping around when she spots a woman in the Demon King's bedroom. And surprise, the Demon King's crashed out, head on the lady's lap. At first, she figures the woman's the Demon King's squeeze. But things take a wild turn when the woman pulls a knife on him. Atina jumps in, flips the situation, points the knife back at the woman. But she bolts and makes a run for it. The Demon King wakes up all confused and with a pounding headache. He's like, "Why are you here? What went down?" Then, he passes out again. Next time he wakes up, it's morning, and there's Atina dropping in from above, freaking him out. She's brought some light because the demon world's always dark. He remembers bits from the night before, and she explains she stayed because he never told her to leave. But here's the kicker. The princess struggled to keep her not-so-appropriate thoughts in check. The Demon King spills his past, tells her about endless attempts on his life since he was a kid, messes up his sleep big time. That lady from last night was supposed to give him sleep help, but turns out she was a sneaky assassin. Now he trusts no one. This is the princess's chance, she thinks, to win over the Demon King. She tells him he can count on her, and guess what? He kinda agrees. They head out to this desert place near the castle. She suggests he work out hard every single day. He tries to complain, but she shuts him down, saying, "Quit whining and just do it." Looks like the Demon King's lost some of his cool factor. It's been ages since the Demon King worked out, so his muscles are screaming in pain. He's all stiff and tired, ends up snoozing at his desk. The princess comes to the rescue, hauling him off to bed. The next day, Daigle's having a heart-to-heart with the Demon King, apologizing big time because he didn't know that Lady was an assassin. But then, the Demon King suddenly yawns, surprising Daigle because he thought the dude never got tired. Thinking things are getting better, Daigle feels relieved. Out of nowhere, Daigle asks about their plan, and the Demon King's like, "Yeah, it's all on track." Then Daigle asks to split. While he's walking, it seems like he's talking to someone, discussing the Demon King's state and giving orders to keep an eye on Athena and grab any chance to take out the Demon King. Meanwhile, the Demon King and Athena are doing their workout thing. When they take a breather under a tree, the Demon King starts calling out Athena for using fancy talk, her stubbornness, and how she's crazy strong for a maid. He even compares her to the princess from Nyanda, and he's kinda right. Athena denies it, saying she's just a tad stronger. Then, out to the blue, the Demon King asks if she's got a wish because she saved his life twice, and he wants to return the favor. This totally catches Athena off guard, and she starts imagining stuff. But wait, next thing we see is Athena and the Demon King at the Demon's Market. Turns out she asked him out on a date, but he's clueless about the whole deal, even after she explained it. While they're there, folks think they're a couple. Athena buys a headband that looks like the Demon King's horn, and they're having a blast. Suddenly, the Demon King's eyeing a plush doll. Athena asks if he wants it, but nope, it's not up for sale. They gotta punch a machine to get points for it. Athena goes all out, breaks the machine by mistake, and gives the plush doll to the Demon King, who cracks a small smile. As the date winds down, Athena admits she liked the Demon's Market more than the human one. She talks about the misunderstandings between demons and humans. Out of nowhere, she asks the Demon King if he had fun, and he throws back a question, does his opinion matter? Athena says a date's only a win if both have fun. But before the Demon King can say he enjoyed it, there's a ruckus caused by some human woman nearby. So, turns out this human lady swiped bread for her kid and got nabbed by the demon guards. They accused her hubby of being a demon hunter, but she swore he bailed on them ages ago. Things get heated, a demon raises a sword, and Athena jumps in, stopping them with her own sword. But then, the Demon King steps up, takes off his coat, and shuts it all down. Athena's mad, asking why he took so long to step in. He says he was just trying to protect his crew, like she was. She brings up the demon-human war, and the Demon King's like, "Hold up, you don't know the whole deal," warning her about making rash statements. Then, he spills the truth. Turns out, beneath the Demon Kingdom's cliffs, there's this thick cloud of poison, keeping it dark all the time. No sunlight, crops barely growing, and Nyanda blocking them from expanding. Loads of demons starved because of this. According to the Demon King, humans refused to clear the clouds and work together on tech, which sparked the war. He accuses Athena of trying to trick him and hand the demon world to humans. That thought just ticks her off while she's working. So, Athena's taking a walk to clear her head when she bumps into this odd dude. Later on, he reveals himself as James. Athena reveals about what went down at the demon's castle to James, and he's seriously ticked off hearing about it. She then starts wondering aloud if humans really treat demons badly, thinking the demons kicked off the war to grab human territory. James cuts in, saying they should move elsewhere to chat. Athena suggests they continue the convo in her room. Meanwhile, the Demon King's busy working in his room. He's finding it hard to sleep without Athena around. Weirdly enough, he's feeling this longing for her, especially since she's been by his side lately. He spots Athena running outside while standing on the balcony. Earlier, James had been schooling Athena, saying there's gotta be a reason why Nyanda dissed the demon world's request. He tells her not to get swayed by the Demon King's words, and to trust what she sees herself. While she's running, Athena suddenly remembers the recent stuff at the market. Demon Hunter? That's news to her. She's wondering how deep the beef between humans and demons really goes. Thinks she needs to check it out herself and investigate. Deep in the forest, there's this deal going on between a noble and some dude with demons near an old cottage. Athena sneaks up, bonks the noble's head, and points her sword at the other guy, making him open the cottage. Inside, there's a staircase leading to a dungeon packed with imprisoned demons. The sight floors her, and she's on her knees, stunned. She gears up for a fight as guards get closer. But just as she's about to swing her sword, she hears a familiar voice behind her. It's the Demon King, who whips out his cloak, making them both vanish from the guards' view. The guards start barking at the demons in the dungeon, and it gets Athena all fired up. But the Demon King hushes her with a finger to his lips. "Shah," he signals. When she locks eyes with him, she blushes big time. Then, with a flick of his hand, he knocks out the guards with a spell. The demons in the dungeon can't believe there are real kings among them. The Demon King thanks Athena in front of the demons, giving her props for bringing their misery to light. The demons, all grateful, bow down to the Demon King. At Athena's command, the Demon King's on duty to move everyone to safety while she deals with some urgent business. The Demon King's surprised at Athena's bold moves ever since she showed up as a tribute maid, from stirring up trouble with the stew to barging into his place, making him do workouts, and even fixing his sleep trouble. Just when he's about to say more, Athena gives a cough, signaling dangers on the horizon. Remembering how he got caught off guard before, the Demon King keeps his trap shut. At first, Athena is shook by the facts not lining up with what she believed. But she gets it now, realizes how important it is to have hope for the future and choose your own path. She's dead set on taking charge of her destiny. The Demon King gets closer, asks her to make a promise, and guides her to say, "I promise to come back safe," gently holding her cheeks. They seal the deal with a pinky promise. Athena's trying to figure out the deal with this demon hunter snagging demons at the border, treating them like trash. She goes up to the hunter and finds him dead, killed by the same succubus who tried to off the Demon King. And guess what? The succubus spills about Athena's real identity, leaving her stunned. The succubus tries to mess with Athena, not knowing how strong she is. Athena just crushes the succubus's sword without breaking a sweat, which gets the succubus raging with hate and revenge. The succubus goes on about how both demons and humans have been wrecked, saying humans gotta pay with their lives for what they've done. But even with another attack, Athena grabs her and holds the knife. While holding it, Athena admits she didn't know about all the bad blood between humans and demons. The succubus, feeling frustrated and wanting to end it herself, tries to bite her own tongue, refusing to go down by human hands. But quick as a flash, Athena stops her, putting her fingers in the succubus's mouth to stop her. She promises she's not gonna off her and asks for patience, saying she's dead set on making things better. The speechless succubus just watches as Athena leaves into the night. Back at the castle, Athena bumps into the Demon King by the fountain. She giggles and says she's kept her promise of coming back safe. But the Demon King sniffs blood on her finger. Athena spills about wanting to head back to the human kingdom to patch things up between humans and demons. She hesitates, still pretending she's just a maid and worries about her ability. The Demon King grabs her fingers, reminding her she's his tribute and she can't bail. He's not trying to stop her, but lays down a condition that makes Athena blush hard all over again. The big royal bash kicks off at the demon's castle, catching James by surprise. A demon waiter fills him in on why it's such a big deal. This time, the Demon King shows up with a date. Athena waltzes in wearing this amazing dress, totally blowing everyone's minds, especially James's, who's worrying she might spill about being a princess. Walking in with the Demon King, Athena grabs everyone's attention because it's the first time he's brought someone along. Turns out, it's a deal he made with Athena for her favor. Being the only human in a room full of demons, she feels all eyes on her. But hey, The Demon King's trying to change things up between demons and humans, and that's why he's got the princess as his +1. They hit the dance floor and steal the show, having a blast together in the middle of the party. Then, out of the blue, a demon servant hands them this rare drink made from some fancy fruit called hijacks, said to boost magical powers. It's the Demon King's go-to drink at this gig. They raise their glasses for a toast and gulp it down. But suddenly, Athena starts feeling woozy, losing her balance. Then, Daigle barges in, causing a scene and catching the Demon King off guard, who rushes to help Athena before she hits the floor. Daigle goes all in, accusing the Demon King of some serious betrayal stuff. He claims the king's been playing dirty, getting too cozy with the enemy humans and planning to hand over the demon realm to them. To make things worse, Daigle reveals Athena's secret identity as the Nyande Kingdom's princess, revealing the sword hidden under her fancy dress. Daigle's all about how they've been prepping for a war against the humans for ages, and this delay's been a total bummer. Suddenly, someone tries to attack Athena, and the Demon King casts a spell to protect her. He tells her to run for it, admitting he was planning a war but was gonna tell her later, hoping for some peace with the humans. Out of the blue, James shows up, grabs Athena's hand, and helps her escape, totally siding with the Demon King. As they make a break for it, a bunch of demon guards, under Daigle's orders, trap them. James steps up, buying time for Athena to get away, knowing she's the key to fixing the whole human-demon mess. It's a tough call, but Athena bolts through the woods. The poison's starting to mess her up big time, making her weaker until she collapses, barely keeping conscious. And just as she's about to black out, she catches sight of someone holding a knife and appears ready to strike. As Athena starts coming back to her senses, she finds herself face to face with the succubus inside a cave. Strangely, she feels much lighter. The succubus explains she gave her an antidote that countered the poison's effects, which had left Athena paralyzed. Still feeling a bit out of it, Athena asks the succubus why she helped. Blushing a bit, the succubus admits to having feelings for Athena after their earlier clash, which led her to help. Athena's jaw practically hits the floor at this confession. The succubus then opens up about her own painful past to Athena, sharing how Daigle saved her from being a slave under a human, but later deserted her when she couldn't carry out his orders to kill the Demon King and Athena. Daigle subjected her to torture after that. She tells Athena that hearing her pledge to change the world gave her the strength to break free from Daigle and start anew. Encouraged by Athena's determination, she offers to help by flying Athena swiftly back to the castle. Meanwhile, at the castle, things get tense as the Demon King faces off with Daigle and his gang of guards. Trying to reason with Daigle, the Demon King acknowledges their shared grief from losing loved ones in the human-demon conflict. But as he tries to calm the situation, Daigle gets angrier, waving his sword menacingly at the Demon King. Just then, out of nowhere, Athena swoops in, catching everyone by surprise with her sudden entrance. James is hiding out when, out of the blue, the succubus shows up, spotting him from above. Despite the mess near the big wall, James is keeping the faith that Athena's got this. Daigle's completely shocked that Athena's alive and kicking, watching her quickly cure the Demon King. He's starting to doubt the succubus big time now. Athena takes down most of Daigle's guards like it's nothing, proving all the rumors about her crazy strength. Now convinced she's the real deal, Daigle tells his remaining guards to hang back, all set to take her down himself. Worried, the Demon King tries to warn Athena about Daigle, but she's not buying it and wonders why he's suddenly so concerned. Admitting her own stubbornness and mischievousness, the Demon King praises Athena's pure heart and authenticity. But before they can talk more, Daigle throws a knife at the Demon King. Athena's ready to go after Daigle, but the Demon King, trying to look brave, gets in the way. Using her holy sword's power, Athena holds him back, and she pours her heart out to the Demon King. She admits that, sure, she was initially drawn in by his looks, but as they spent time together, she realized he's got a kind heart that made her really care for him. Then suddenly, Athena's holy sword starts glowing super bright, like it's the strongest thing in the whole universe. After Daigle's revolt, word spreads throughout the Demon Kingdom. stories swirling about the Nyanda princess helping out to protect the Demon King. People can't believe it and aren't sure what to make of this unexpected news. Eventually, it's explained that the bright light from Atena's holy swords just made folks pass out. It wasn't meant to hurt anyone. But still, Atena's made a huge impact on the Demon Kingdom by bringing sunlight to their world, lighting things up in their realm. Waking up in his room, the Demon King's surprised to find the succubus there. She tells him about Atena's last words before she left the Demon Kingdom, promising to fix things and come back. And if she couldn't, she asked him to take care of it. That made him feel a bit better, remembering her determination even in her goodbye. Fast forward a year later. The princess is basically in charge of everything, taking charge and making sure things get better for everyone. Suddenly, a huge army from the Demon Kingdom heads towards the Nyanda Kingdom, leaving everyone wondering what's going on. People are scratching their heads, trying to figure out what the demons are up to. The princess doesn't waste any time. She shows up right in front of the Demon King, expecting him to be busy just like she is. But turns out the Demon King finished his tasks early, maybe feeling the weight of their impending separation. Then the Demon King drops a bombshell. There's this tradition where they give tributes during weddings, something he picked up from humans. So, he kneels down and pops the question. The princess is beaming and they hug it out. Finally, after all the waiting, they've found a deep love for each other. So, in this fairy tale kingdom, where the sun shines bright, two realms that used to be enemies finally make peace, thanks to these two powerful leaders. And with a happy wedding, the Demon King and the Princess of Nyanda tie the knot. And that's how the story ends, with the princess getting up to all sorts of mischief with her new hubby. Best wishes to the Demon King.